Bliss Sinclair walked in from the rain, brushing sparkling raindrops from the sleeve of her gray suit. She stopped and shook herself like a cat. More droplets scattered, flying from her large haloing afro to the carpet that lined the main lobby of the Volk Publishing building. People walked around her, some watching her display with amusement. Others were too focused on the clock, already beginning to chime 9 a.m. to pay her any attention. She shrugged again to better settle the jacket on her back and shoulders and headed for the bank of elevators at the rear of the lobby. The gray carpet muffled the sound of her footsteps as she stepped into the chrome elevator and pressed the button for the 23rd floor. Just as the doors began to close, a woman slid quickly between them. She brought with her the light, mossy scent of Chanel No. 19 and nodded briefly at Sinclair before staring ahead at the mirrored wall of the elevator. Despite her coolness, the woman immediately drew Sinclair's attention. She was a clever mixture of elements. Her hair was tamed Africa, thick and permed to tumble to her shoulders in shiny waves that framed her square-jawed, Anglo-Saxon face. Freckles sprinkled like brown sugar over her nose and cheeks. As Sinclair watched, a hint of a smile pulled at the woman's full mouth. She was beautiful, Sinclair decided, and her creamy milk and coffee skin looked delicious in silk. "Hello." The woman's voice was a velvety southern drawl. Sinclair slid her gaze to the elevator doors, embarrassed to be caught staring. "Hi." The woman took Sinclair's reply as an invitation and looked fully at her travel companion, her mouth still curled in that almost smile. "Do you work here?" she asked. Realizing that the woman wasn't offended by her blatant ogling, Sinclair relaxed. "Yes, on the 23rd floor. You must do some pretty expensive work for Volk to be that high up in the building." "Not really, just a little accounting." Sinclair turned to look at the woman. "What are you doing here?" A real smile captured her mouth. "I don't look like I work here." Sinclair figured that honesty was best in this case. "Not really." "Then I must be a writer coming to meet with my editor." "Ah, you've been published by us before." "A couple of books. Essays." Sinclair sized the woman up again. She didn't seem at all like the intellectual type, rather like one of those hard-edged businesswomen in her tailored silk pantsuit. "I don't read much nonfiction, although I've been meaning to start." "That's funny that you say that. I could never really get into fiction." The woman's mouth twitched. "I'm Regina, by the way." "Sinclair." Regina nodded just as the elevator doors slid open. "I guess I'll see you around." "Sure." Sinclair watched the woman walk toward an unfamiliar cloister of offices. She blinked when the gunmetal gray doors closed, cutting off her view of the silk-clad backside gliding down the hallway. "Baby got back." Sinclair coughed when she realized she'd said that out loud. Still, she chuckled to herself as she stepped out onto the 23rd floor and down the carpeted hall to her office. Shelley Romero, her secretary, was already at her desk when Sinclair walked in. Shelley looked like a child who'd come in for Bring Your Daughter to Work Day and just stayed. Dark hair and 2 ponytails, glitter eyeshadow from the kids section, and barely business attire. She was a liberal arts college graduate, still safely ensconced in her 20s and with ambitions of being a published poet. That ambition was what drew her to Volk Publishing 3 years ago, and the belief that as long as she had some link with the publishing house, she had a chance of having her first book published by them. As far as Sinclair knew, Shelley was still unpublished. "Good morning, Shelley." "Don't you look cheerful this morning?" Shelley grinned and handed over a large stack of mail. "Did you get lucky?" "Wouldn't you like to know?" A smile shadowed Sinclair's mouth. "Only if it involved more than one girl. Otherwise, save it for the boys in the break room." Sinclair rolled her eyes, then stepped away as Shelley's phone rang, and the secretary turned to answer it.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.